Chapter 21 of the Adventures of the Teenie Weenies. This is a Librivox Recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Recording by Melissa Redfield-Lyon. Adventures of the Teenie Weenies. Written by W.M. Donahey. Chapter 21. A Most Unlucky Mouse. "Well," yawned Mr. Mouse, rolling off his soft cotton bed, "I think I'd better go out and see what I can find for breakfast. We haven't had a bit of cheese or bread in the house." "Now do be careful, dear," warned Mrs. Mouse. "And please don't go near that nasty old trap underneath the steps." "All right, I'll be careful," laughed her husband as he hurried down the long hall, which connected their home with a large cellar, where all sorts of good things could usually be found. But on this particular morning, Mr. Mouse found food very scarce, and he was forced to climb about in places in search for breakfast. While walking along the edge of a basket, he chanced to see some breadcrumbs on the steps nearby, and wishing to make a shortcut, he decided to leap onto an empty fruit jar that stood near, and from there onto steps. He made a mighty leap onto the jar, but before he could balance himself, he slipped and fell in. His cries for help could not be heard, and it was some time before Mrs. Mouse, who had been alarmed at his absence, found the poor fellow. "Oh, dear me, by the great cat's tail! This is most awful!" exclaimed Mrs. Mouse, bursting into tears. "Go tell the Teenie Weenies," shouted her husband. "They will come and help me out." Mrs. Mouse ran over to the shoe house, and climbing up the front steps, she rapped so hard that she scratched half the paint off the tiny door. Between bursts of tears, Mrs. Mouse told the Teenie Weenies about her husband, and the little people promised at once to help. "Dear Miss Mouse," said the lady of fashion, trying to comfort the tearful mouse, "you must calm yourself. You must try to be calm." "Great cat's claws!" exclaimed Mrs. Mouse. "I'd like to see you stay calm with your husband in a fruit jar." And she burst into another fit of crying as she hurried back to her imprisoned husband, followed by the Teenie Weenies. The Teenie Weenies quickly put up a ladder which they had brought with them, and the doctor was soon lowered into the jar, where he found the poor mouse had two badly sprained legs. The general ordered the big windlass brought up, and when the derrick had been built on top of the fruit jar out of 3 strong clothespins, the injured mouse was bundled into the biggest Teenie Weenie tablecloth and pulled out. As it was late, the Teenie Weenies decided to make the poor mouse as comfortable as possible, for it was quite a long way to the mouse's home, and they thought that after a night's rest he could stand the trip with less pain. The little men made him a soft bed under the cellar stairs, and after he had eaten a Welsh rarebit, which the cook brought to him, he fell into a sound sleep, with Mrs. Mouse sitting watchfully by his side. "We'll be over early in the morning and take your husband home," said the general, and the Teenie Weenies started back to the shoe house, for it was fast growing dark. End of Chapter 21. A Most Unlucky Mouse. Recorded by Melissa Redfield-Lyon.